Existence Brewing.
Here's another Existence Brewing single shot.
We have finally made it to the point where AI and technology meets man's brain. And we're not talking like the way you and I conceptualize technology. We're talking like literally at the source of your nervous system. Noland Arbaugh. Okay. Noland Arbaugh, the first
This is the recipient of
the Neuralink's brain computer interface, or BCI. He was in a diving accident at a summer camp in 2016, which left the former Texas A&M student paralyzed from the shoulders down and obviously largely dependent on his family. For years, he said that he would just be like, my life is nothing now.
Quadriplegics, paraplegics, people that go blind or deaf or lose, both in accidents, were always showed the spirit of triumph with them moving on. But I think that's probably a rarity. I would imagine most people are more like this when that happens, and they have a really hard time saying, what is my life going to be about now?
Right. So he has a fully functioning brain, but everything from his neck down is essentially not working anymore the way it used to. And so he was teamed up somehow with this Neuralink company, which was co-founded by Elon Musk.
I tell you, gravitas can be difficult sometimes.
By implanting a coin-sized chip beneath his skull connected over 1,000 electrodes that can read neurological activity and translate it into digital commands. And they did a little test on this. There's a video, and he was able to essentially play chess with somebody by just thinking about moving the pieces, and this is electronic chess. This isn't like physical chess.
The pieces are connected to the device.
It's like a game. So it's like there's a digital display.
They didn't impart the ability for telekinesis to this guy. That hasn't come around just yet.
No, that's probably going to be in 2.0 or 3.0.
Yeah. I would think now at least 3.0.
Maybe it's 5G.0. But anyway.
And you'll have to download Windows Office to get it. So.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to have to do a lot of updates between now and then, and there's going to be a lot of Windows blue screens.
It's quite a piece of technology, thanks to all of the animals, undoubtedly, that were purposefully paralyzed so that this tech could be tested, because we often forget our friends that are giving up their lives and livelihoods here for that purpose, but it's been suggested by some that that's part of why they are here. I don't know about that, but...
Well, and why is it always chess? Why is it that always every technology that comes out, it's always like they set up this like scientific demonstration, and now we're going to play chess. And I believe the internet was also kind of like tested this way at one point too, where it's like, okay, two people in two different cities are going to be able to play chess with each other. Yeah. It always starts with chess, and then before you know it, it's Pornhub.
Pornhub chess, which is just, as Mel Brooks said, jump the queen, jump the queen, jump the queen, jump the queen.
It goes from chess to Pornhub in like no time.
Well, technology is marvelous, but there's always another side to it. It's always the intent. I hate to keep underscoring that one, but I always feel like it's the intent, because everything we do goes back to our intent, and it goes back to our individual intent and our collective intent. So when Pornhub is quickly born out of, we were doing this to help babies that were dying of diseases or people who weren't able to live or experience a full enough life, yeah, that's on us, because it's fallen into those hands. And, we don't want to regulate it to death, though. We also don't want to say, well, you can't use it for Pornhub, but it would be nice if we lived in a world that was more interested in getting on board with helping people that really needed it than the getting off again and again when we just did and don't really need to do it again, because that's what Pornhub kind of boils down to.
Oh, so, well, and I think that at some point it has to go from the laboratory to then everyday world. And I think that's where kind of this feedback loop of human society, technology, there's this constant kind of evolution that happens with these two things side by side. And then society says, okay, well, why don't we use it for this purpose? Or why don't we use it for that purpose? And then that's when it kind of then starts going in all these different directions. I mean, I'm sure when Henry Ford first rolled out the first Model T, I don't know that in his brain he immediately said, oh, now we're going to have freeways, and now we're going to have all of these large infrastructure that's going to have to be built in order to get all of these cars from point A to point B. I mean, just think in general, how many things have been created just to support the automobile?
Yeah, he didn't know he was literally checking off one of the Hopi prophecy boxes for mass infrastructure that was going to like take over the planet. Obviously, if I'm this guy and it's the next best thing that can be done because I live in 2025 to literally giving my body its ability to move back again, then yeah, I'm probably feeling a little better about my plight at this point. But it's also not a cure-all. I mean, you have to remember that. We can't also stand back and just praise ourselves for inventing such a technology and then saying, well, this person should be grateful to receive it. Has anybody polled him? I mean, I'm sure it's just all over the papers about being the greatest thing because we love to praise technology because, again, it's big business and big business and tech runs a lot of the world. So, of course, they're going to toot their own horns, but I wonder how this person really feels about it. I wonder if it's, oh my God, this is truly life-changing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if it's, I'm not really so much impressed. This doesn't do much for me, actually. Thanks for trying. But no. Or if it's I'm guessing it's probably somewhere in the middle. Wow, this is nice. And it does make my days of being, not being able to move my arms and legs go by a little bit better. But it's certainly not putting me back the way that I was.
Well,
which,
it's
of course,
still
is the ultimate wish.
It's still the honeymoon period, right? So he just had this surgery like a week ago, and it's something that has been in the works for many years. And I'm sure that he can do more than just play chess with his mind. Yeah. But at the same time, I think then that's when you start to go into what's the next question? What else can this do?
Another question is, what is this already doing in military applications?
Well, there you go.
It has been for the last 20 years.
And it's not going to just end with this ability to play chess. It's probably going to multiply before you know it. The man is probably going to be able to walk again because now all of a sudden his nervous system, which was severed, is going to now be able to communicate with his body parts again. And he's going to be walking around because of the Neuralink.
But I think the even better backside question on top of that possibility is, will he even want to? Because the Neuralink will be in so many homes and offices delivering experiences
of
artificial nature.
Yeah.
Why would we? You don't need to walk ever again. All you do is just sit down and it plugs into your asshole and the rest of your life is literally controlled by 3 or 4 buttons that you just think about pressing.
Right. Yeah. Do you remember like the old adage when like people would say like, yeah, I had a metal plate installed in my head. But now, the only thing is now when I stand too close, I sound like
Cousin Eddie,
Johnny Carson. Now when I stand too close to the
Johnny Carson did not have a metal plate.
Well, it just sounds like a joke that Johnny Carson would tell. Now when I stand too close to the microwave, I can hear Russian radio.
Yeah. Picked up Radio Moscow.
Radio Moscow.
In my fillings.
Yes, in my fillings. Yes. That was a good one. So, no, like now what is it? So, like now when the barometric pressure gets too low, he starts to bark like a dog. Is that the case? Or
oh, there's all those. There's a million jokes about the steel plate and the pacemaker. I remember the pacemaker spurred a lot of jokes like, every time he burps, the garage door opens. And that's an old Wayland Flowers joke when he used to do Madam. He's a funny guy.
Well, now this man could probably think about opening the garage door and it would open.
Well, and again, we talk about the literal guinea pigs that may have given up a piece of their livelihoods or their lives in general to give him this ability. But how much is he now a literal pawn, a literal guinea pig in the game of what other applications does this have for people whose arms and legs work just fine? And is this not all? This is a real grand, conspiracy, I suppose, but is this not all just the finest, most polished show of rolling out a tech that is absolutely designed to interfere with your free will. That's
There you go.
injected into your body. And
There you
but
go.
we're going to roll it out so that it's helping the
Mhm.
most helpless people in our world, literally only neck up and barely that, hates to be alive. It's the tragic story. It's sad. It happens all the time, sadly, but it's one of those things. So we roll it out to partially fix this guy, make him better. He's happy. But the next thing you know, it's going in everybody. And it's funny because it seems to me, it's not funny, but it is kind of ironic because humans are so pathetic and miserable. All of this stuff, I mean, right down to the things at your phone. You know how you can, from your phone, you're talking about the garage door. Like, I'm in Tampa and I live in Minnesota, and I can see who's outside right now on my phone. I can open the garage door for Lenny next door so he can let the cat in. The guy I do the morning show with just told me they just got some tech feeders for their cats so they can not only program when the food goes in the dish from, halfway around the globe. They can be in like Stad and just go, oh, cat needs to be fed, and boop, a button on their phone, and provided that there's a good connection, it happens back at home. And then they can also look in. There's a camera, so they can look in on their little kitties and say hello. There's a microphone too. Hello, kitties. And the kids go, Jesus, this is so fucking weird. What's going on? Who put what in my food? Where? They're gone. They're in Stad. They're not supposed to be here. Why can I hear them? So all of that, we have all of this technology now. We can literally change the temperature of the fridge setting when we're on vacation, but it all seems to go back to one device, one piece of automation, the remote control, the television.
Yeah.
Doesn't it all go back to the remote? Am I wrong? Just that horrible notion that I'm seated comfortably in my living space and I'm watching Ralph as the man from space on the Honeymooners again. I love this episode. I've seen it a million times, but here we are. And I just, the ball game's on 4, this is on 7, and this is over in 5 minutes. And I'm already dreading the thought about having to get up and use those legs that this guy would love to have the use of again. I don't even want to think about having to get up and go the 17 inches between where I'm seated and where the TV is to change the fucking channel. I've got to have something to do it remotely. And so thusly, the remote was invented. And it seems to me like it just all funnels back to that one.
The remote control.
The remote control for the TV is like the devil. It's literally like it's like the devil's seed in all of this. It's like the thing that started all of it on a downhill spiral of convenience.
Okay, so let's take it a step further. Now that we know that we can play chess with our mind bullets, and I can order coffee just by thinking about it. So you know what it really makes me think about? Like, what are the opportunities here? And this is the first thing that came to my mind.
Honey, you won't believe it. Toonces can drive a car.
Toonces are a cat?
Yeah, come on, I'll show you.
What a perfect day for a drive.
Isn't that pretty?
It's a fantastic day.
Yeah.
Now the cat can drive a car.
Now the cat can drive the car.
See,
Well, the car
told you
can-
it could drive.
The car can drive the car. I guess you could put the cat at the wheel. Because the cat still has to focus on driving the car. So
Well, yeah, but now the
ostensibly it has
Neuralink.
to learn how to drive the car.
Now the Neuralink can make the cat drive the car.
I think if you put a Neuralink in any dog or cat, at least any domesticated one, the food is just going to keep tipping over and over and over again. Like, this literally is all they're going to want. The fridge will keep opening.
Before you
or
know
something.
it, Toonces has hacked the system.
We hope this single shot inspired you to want more Existence Brewing. To check out full episodes of the podcast and for more, head to existencebrewing.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts online.
Existence Brewing.